3 reasons why Disney lost almost $150 million on Johnny Depp's Lone Ranger despite a huge production budget. Thanks to his ability to play some of the most unique and eccentric characters, Johnny Depp has made millions of dollars for film studios. However, Disney's The Lone Ranger was unable to be saved by his eccentricities, resulting in a loss of over $150 million for the studio. Even though the film had a rough beginning, Depp's enormous popularity could not save it from going down as one of Disney's biggest failures. Although this wasn't Depp's first bad film, rather, it was just one in a string of bad ones, the actor wasn't solely to blame for the picture's failure. Although there were numerous factors contributing to the film's failure, these are the top 3, which ultimately cost Disney approximately $150 million. The Lone Ranger franchise was once highly regarded and widely accepted in society. But those were long gone, as fans were already absorbed in properties like Marvel or DC, which had recently been given a new lease on life and were creating a lot of buzz. Another reason for the lack of interest was the fierce competition the Lone Ranger faced. Despicable Me 2 and other films with similar release dates attracted large numbers of families and younger audiences, which contributed to the failure of Johnny Depp's $250 million film. The film was the studio's attempt to bring the long-dead Lone Ranger franchise back to life. The most important thing for any project that is resurrected is to keep expenses as low as possible in order to prevent suffering significant losses. Disney, though, didn't appear to be aware that the budget quickly spiraled out of control and ended up costing roughly $250 million, not including an additional $150 million for marketing. This was an incredible budget for any film whose mainstream appeal had long since faded. Given the many factors that contributed to the film's failure, the studio's inability to control its spending meant that it would undoubtedly suffer a significant loss. The negative publicity and controversies surrounding the Lone Ranger were a major factor in the film's failure. Making the Lone Ranger story fit the stereotypes in an attempt to appease the masses only served to inundate it with unfavorable reviews. The main reason the film didn't succeed was probably the choice to cast Johnny Depp, a non-Comanche, in the role of a Native American. His assertion that he was descended from Native Americans and that he had been granted honorary membership in a Native tribe was unhelpful and only served to fuel the boycott because it was considered culturally insensitive. Depp's portrayal of Tonto, in contrast to his earlier outrageous roles, was criticized more for being cliched and complicated. Disney's The Lone Ranger has gained cult status over the years despite suffering significant losses. Movies are meant to be enjoyed, regardless of critics' opinions or film pundits, and Johnny Depp's The Lone Ranger offers plenty of opportunities to do so in spite of its many shortcomings.